Hey guys, Kamina the coach here. I can't even fake it. It's been a hard day. I look like it's been a hard day. It's nighttime. I never do videos at night. I'm doing this video because I'm not sure if I'm gonna get the gumption this weekend to do the videos I know I need to do. There's 2 videos I know I need to do. I'll do another video after this and post them back to back, and then there may not be anything for a while. And let me tell you why. So my name is Kamina the coach. If you haven't been following me, lived overseas for 10 years, sharing the wisdom in coaching people how to get their minds right and giving them the logistics to do that. COVID forced me back to the United States. I'm also a biracial, transracial, late discovery adoptee, all of that to say that I am half white and half black. I identify as black. And I was adopted by a white family who didn't see the need to tell me that I was adopted. So I found out when I was 32 that I was adopted. So since that point, I've just kind of been sharing my journey and what I've learned, some tips and tricks for managing that good old adoption trauma. And I think that a lot of this stuff would apply to anybody with trauma, especially those with childhood trauma. So without further ado, this video is about, so if you haven't been following my journey, I've been using a psilocybin containing mushrooms, so magic mushrooms, to unlock trauma that has been encapsulated in the fear center of my brain. I'm only using what I know about the science to make a guess, because the truth is science doesn't know why psychedelics help with the treatment of trauma. That's the truth. And to me, it doesn't matter why it works. It only matters that it works. Having said all that, why did I think that I need it? I'm very logical. I know all of the ins and outs of trauma. I've done therapy. I've taken antidepressants. I've been on the straight and narrow and still self-sabotaged. I have told myself, well, if I could just be like this, if I could just be like this, things would stop going wrong. And they didn't. I could be doing everything right and something would still go wrong. And I firmly believe that that is directly attached to my trauma, whether it is the adoption trauma or the childhood trauma or the trauma that I added on top of that after some years. It doesn't really matter. It's just happening. Let me readjust this. Sorry, guys. It's making me crazy. It's a little bit better. Sorry about that. So I do have some videos on my channel about my journeys. I did videos after each journey. I thought it was important. To date, I have done 5 journeys. And so the last journey that I did was the day before Thanksgiving, I believe. Thanksgiving of 2021. The holiday season of 2021 was really hard for me. 2021 in general, a lot happened. And in fact, I'm at my anniversary, just over my anniversary, because January 16th of 2021, I almost killed myself after returning back from overseas. It wasn't COVID stress. It was a birthday, and that's not the first time. So I knew that it was time to do something about the adoption trauma. So I did my DNA. I found my blood family on both sides, my biological and my paternal first family, and it was rough. It was a rough season. I found someone I thought was my person who turned out not to be. That was a really rough breakup. And I moved to Arizona. It's just been a lot. It's been a lot going on, and I'm ready to thrive instead of survive. So my last journey was a big one. I did about 11 grams, and it was a big, hard journey. It wasn't pleasant or giddy. It wasn't like I thought I was gonna die the entire time, which I've heard people have had. It wasn't like that, and I wasn't in a state of panic. But in general, however you're feeling when you enter into a journey is how you're gonna feel the entire journey. So I was just feeling pretty dark, and that's pretty much how I felt the entire journey. There were a lot of tears. And usually in a journey, well, in my 5, there's always been a message. One, there wasn't, but it was a pretty small dose and not very, very good stuff. So the message for my last journey was really hard to accept, and that's why I haven't been speaking about it very much. And it's also sacred, so quite personal and private. But I think that this will apply to a lot of you, especially if you're watching this. So, constantly seeking answers is a form of self-soothing. It is a representation of trauma when you are constantly seeking. Now, I'm not saying when you know nothing at all about trauma. It may be that this is the first time you've watched a video like this. Probably not. But so if you're a first timer to hearing about trauma and how it affects the brain and childhood trauma and all that stuff, okay, keep going. But if you've spent years looking for more information about trauma and healing and therapy and all these kinds of things, that is a form of self-soothing that is directly related to trauma. It's very interesting how how insidious, how hidden it can be. You know, I don't appear like an addict, but I can be very, and if I have one thing that I am addicted to that I have a really hard time stepping away from is studying and learning. And specifically studying and learning about trauma and its effects on the brain, how people are healing it, and all that stuff. So my last message was stop studying. And it was so hurtful that when I got the message, I curled up on a ball on my floor right here and sobbed. And I was like, I've given up everything else. Please don't take this away from me. It was hard. It was hard. I have spoken about it in one integration circle. And it was very interesting to hear another young lady in the integration circle say that she also studies a lot. And she said she feels like she's trying to take in a lot of information because she feels small. So that might be the case for me. Feel small and helpless because I really am in the big scheme of things. Small. I can't say exactly what my reasoning is behind it, but I can definitely say that I've been using studying as self-soothing for my trauma. And at this point, I have the answers. I have the tools. The mushrooms have done wonders for me to release the caginess, the locked up trauma that I had in my brain. So I have the tools. I know what I need to be doing. Why am I still studying? What I have discovered, and maybe it's since I got the message, maybe it was happening before, but I really didn't notice it then. What I'm really noticing now is that if I choose to ignore that message, the more miserable I become. So there are a couple of childhood trauma experts that I like on YouTube, and in watching their videos, I just feel worse. I'm like, oh, I've got that too. Oh, I do that. Oh yeah, I do that too. Do you ever find yourself doing that? And please tell me I'm not the only one. I'm like, oh yeah, I do. Oh my God, I do that. That's a symptom of trauma too. Do you really need to know Do you need somebody else to tell you all the ways that you're traumatized? Does knowing all the ways that you're traumatized help your healing process? I know for me at this point, I have a vast array of knowledge about this stuff. And I'm going to say that learning any more right now is really not serving me. In fact, it's just hurting me. And I really went through a portion of time where I was really tearing myself up. And now I've stopped. I'm watching dog and cat videos. I watch nature videos. I can still watch learning stuff, or I can still read stuff to learn, just not seeking that healing that I know is going to only come from applying my practice. My practice will not necessarily be your practice, and what works for me, it will not necessarily work for you. Self-care is very big for me. That includes working out, drinking lots of water, getting lots of sun, taking my vitamins, eating as healthy as I possibly can, stretching and taking long hot baths, and meditation, quiet time before bed to shut down my brain, and prepping for the day before. I have a lot of other things that I do, but those are really important things that I do. And I've just begun my meditation again. And when I step away from practice is when I am most miserable. And I know what works for me, and I know what will make me feel better. And that's what I need to do instead of continually seeking. So when I say that the next video, I'm going to do another video, and you may not hear from me for a while, it's because I'm not taking in a lot of new information. So this is not a vlog. This isn't a blog. This is not about my life per se. I use my life stories to share information with you, to share knowledge with you, so that you know that I'm not coming up with this out of thin air. So if I don't have anything new, if I don't have any tips or tricks to share with you, and usually I get that stuff from studying, if I don't have anything new to share, then there's no reason really to do a video. I'm not here for subscribers. I'm here to leave a legacy, to hopefully put all that learning to good use, and maybe make a difference in one or two people's lives. That's why I'm here. I'm not here for subscribers. You see, I like 110 subscribers. So anyways, so that's where I'm at in life. I will eventually start microdosing. I'll probably still continue to journey with psilocybin. But for right now, I'm complete. I have an appointment with Tara McCants. If you want to look her up, she is a very interesting energy healer that my Reiki practitioner primary care, or GP, pointed me to. So I found a really amazing doctor who pointed me to an energy healer. So I'm going to go check her out. So I'll probably do a video about that. I'm going to a Tibetan sound bath tomorrow, so I might talk to you about that as well. But for right now, I'm complete. My next video is going to be really poignant, so it may be as I have ideas pop into my head that I will do new videos. But please be understanding and try to, really take this in. And I hope that it's valuable for you, and I hope that, I hope that if you're using knowledge to self-soothe, that you're able to recognize it for what it is, and maybe not necessarily stop, but at least that's being aware of it is the beginning of stopping. So, as always, sending you love, light, peace, and joy. Kamina the Coach. I will see you next time.